This is Joe Malerba. I'd like to talk to you today about daily rituals for wealth and happiness. The most successful people I know run a very ritualistic day, and the least successful people I know also have habits and rituals that they repeat over and over and over again. You see, as much as we don't like to admit it, we are very much creatures of habit. The moment I deleted Facebook off my phone, I found myself picking my phone out of my pocket at least 20 times a day, just grabbing it to scroll before I remembered I didn't even have it. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about my rituals for success and wealth and happiness, and how I set up my day to be the most successful that I could possibly can. Now, my business coach, Bill Pipes, has said to me over and over and over again, every single day starts the night before. If you want to be successful, you have to start your day before it begins. And the same thing goes with your week. So although I've been imperfect about it, after going through his coaching and spending a lot of money continually to help improve my life, I've taken on the habit of spending some time in the evening just to write out, what do I want to do? What are the most important rocks that I can handle the next day? Visualization is incredibly important. And so each night, as I'm getting ready to go to bed, as I'm writing down the goals for the next day, for the next week, my wife and I, we talk about the big things that we want to do. We want to be in Florida half the year. We want to do more traveling with the kids. We want to create a life that's full of abundance and joy. But that starts with a conversation at night. What are we doing to get there? What are we going to take? What steps are we going to take? How can we continue to improve? How can we continue to be a little bit better every single day? This routine that starts at night allows me to be in bed just about the same time every single night. How do I know this? I have a little ring. My ring tracks my sleep. It tracks when I go to sleep. It tracks when I wake up. It tracks my sleep patterns. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that I know when I stay up too late, my sleep isn't as good and my productivity isn't good. I'm very intentional about being in bed at the same time, keeping a similar nutrition pattern at night. I don't eat after 8 o'clock at night. And I make sure that my body is prepared for sleep. You'd be surprised how effective it is when you go to bed the same time every single night. I spent many years believing that because I worked so hard, I could stay up late on the weekends. Because I worked so hard, I deserved to have some fun, to have a few cocktails, and to enjoy myself on the weekends. The second I stopped doing that, my productivity doubled. Why? Your body recognizes patterns. When you go to bed the same time every day, your body gets tired. You automatically go into deep sleep much quicker, and your body stays there longer. And then you wake up much more restful. So, to reiterate, to have the most productive day, you have to start the night before. That starts with your eating. That starts with what time you stop eating. That starts with your information that you feed your body. And it starts with your anticipation of the great things that you want to do. For me, that means writing out my goals and spending some beautiful time with my wife, envisioning our dream life as we make these dreams into reality. The second thing we do is wake up in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I always start with a little meditation. I then go immediately into a fitness routine. For me, my fitness routine has been push-ups. We do work out in the morning. However, as I've gotten to be older, I realized I need something so very simple that it's so easy for me to do it that I just don't have an excuse. And so I started a routine about 2 years ago with just doing 5 sets of 20 push-ups in the morning. That meant that no matter what, every single day I had to do my push-ups. And I can tell you for the first month, it was really difficult to do 5 sets of 20 push-ups. I felt like my arms were going to fall off. Before long, however, I found it was pretty easy to go from 20 push-ups to 25, from 25 to 30, 30 to 35. And before you know it, every single day I'm doing between 3 and 5 sets of 100 push-ups every day. I wake up, I do a little meditation, and we do some push-ups. I can tell you that without exception, there are at least 3 or 4 days out of the week where I just don't feel like getting up and doing an exercise. And my body is like a machine. When I start doing them, it just falls right into place and everything else feels better. You get the blood flowing, you get everything moving, and suddenly the I don't feel like an excuse doesn't hold the weight. Now, one of my favorite sales trainers of all time wrote a book called Ninja Sales. In this book, he described starting your day with gratitude. Now, gratitude for me means that every single morning I write down 1 or 2 things that I'm grateful for about each one of my children and my wife. If you run a high-level business like me, I promise you there's going to be a lot of days where everything doesn't go your way, where things are difficult, where you're stressed, and you get home, and if you haven't started your day with gratitude, it's just so easy to lose your temper at your kid. And then an hour later, you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have yelled at him. Oh man, I shouldn't have talked to my wife that way. But we have a lot of apartments. We do a lot of deals. It's common for a deal to blow up. I just lost 20 grand. A tenant to flood an apartment. That happens very regularly. Deal with frozen pipes, deal with issues. So now, instead of working for 7 or 8 or 9 hours, I work for 10 or 12. I haven't eaten. I come home. I'm hungry. I'm irritable. I'm cranky. And who's the person I take it out on? It's not the tenant. It's not my staff. It's my family. And instead of setting myself up for a business that succeeds with a family that succeeds, if I don't start with gratitude, it's easy for me to lose my temper and take out my frustration on the people that I love. Now, this sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you that once I started spending time every single day writing down what I'm grateful for about my kids and my wife, when I come home and I'm already at a 10 and I go to lose my temper, my brain automatically says to me, you know, I know Joseph's pushing your buttons, but he's just so curious. That's one of your favorite things about him. You know, he's so independent. That's going to make him a really great business owner one day. You just have to be patient. Same thing with my wife. I have a beautiful day. Everything's going perfectly. I come home. She might say something that isn't even insulting to me. But if I've already had a bad day, suddenly I'm frustrated with her, even though she's not the source of it. When I start my day every single day with just being so grateful for all the things that she's done and has been as a partner in my life, it allows me to be softer around the edges, even when the day hasn't gone my way. So you start the night before, get a little activity in the morning, a little meditation, start with gratitude for your family, then I go into my goals for the year. And I make it a habit, more often than not, at least 5 or 6 days out of the week, to write down all the things that I want to accomplish in a year. And I envision myself doing them. I envision myself doing these huge, great things that, you know, at one point in my life I didn't even believe I'd be able to do. Now, visualization is magical. I can say that almost everything that I've envisioned to come true has come true. That doesn't mean if you write down every single day you're going to make $100 million. You're just going to make $100 million if you don't get your lazy ass off the couch. But it does mean that when you consistently, every single day, write down the things you want to do, and you're grateful for the things that you already have, then you're more likely to become the person that does those things. And you're more likely to attract the people in your life that will help you go out and get those things. So for me, after I've done writing out my goals, then I write down my income goal a bunch of times for the day, 26 times, again, Ninja Sales. Sauna, I jump in the cold plunge for 3 or 4 minutes, I get the blood flowing, I get my body really ready to be alive, excited, full of energy, then I go out and attack my day. Now, if I've done it right, I've prioritized the big things that I need to get done, which I try to focus on in the morning, and then I focus on what are the things that I need to delegate to my team, and how can I be a better leader for them.